One. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Lakita, and I am super duper excited. We are at the 100th day of our 100-day challenge for the Walk It Off Girl. We started July 6th. And we are here right now. And I'm telling you, the women have been phenomenal. We had a party earlier today, and we're going to end the night with a party. Not too long, because we got our East Coasters on the phone. And so we wanted to make sure that they had an opportunity to share with you what things took place for them. And for those of you who are watching us, we are so excited that you are watching us at this time, and we want you to chime in, but more importantly, don't just stand by, be a part of. We got another 50-day challenge coming up October 19th, but you can't go past that deadline. So you've got to go ahead and register for that challenge ASAP by October 19th so you can be on board with us so we can move forward. I'm just elated tonight to be able to see all of these wonderful women's faces that you are going to get a chance to see in just a few moments, and you're going to get a chance to hear. What we want you to be able to do, I'm hoping, is that you begin to consciously, now I want you to hear me very clearly, to consciously decide that you don't just want the excitement that you feel, because you should feel the excitement. You don't want the unity that you see. You should see that unity. What you want is a committed yes coming from your own mouth. A yes that cannot be changed because the weather is changing. Just buy a hoodie and a long sleeve. We still walk. And out of the 4 years that I've been walking outside every single day in other cities, other states, I have never gotten sick, even when I've walked in the rain, not even a little bit. There's something about just eating right, eating clean, and all those different types of things. So we want you to be a part of it, but we want you to consider your yes. Everything that looks like you want to be a part of, maybe not so much. When you get real serious about carrying around 50, 60 pounds plus 500 pounds of emotional weight and all of that, you'll come see us, because we'll be starting another one in January. But I wouldn't wait till January. I would go out of this pandemic, out of this coronavirus era, being different than when I came in. How about that? Amen? Super excited. All right. So for tonight, we've got some phenomenal folks that's going to speak to us about what their journey has been like. This wonderful woman is on the East Coast, and she's just been fabulous, just chiming in, sharing her story, sharing her truth, and we're elated to be able to just interact with her. Her name is Julia Zach, and she's going to speak to us first so she can just share her heart, what the program has meant for her, and all of that. And we're just excited. Hey, how in the world are you doing? Woohoo! So go ahead and absolutely. We are excited. I see you.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Dr. Lakita. Hi,
hello. I want to give you
babies.
big hugs.
Big hugs. Big
Yes.
hugs from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Yes, I love her spirit. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to back out so that you can be able to just speak freely, and then maybe I'll come in later to just ask you a couple questions. But just speak freely to the audience that's watching, that'll be watching us from everywhere. What your journey was like, what the process was like, what did you get from it, and go from there.
Sure. Okay, so I was invited to this walk by my friend Dee, and I thought it was just a walk, a way to just be, disciplined every day, getting out. I thought it was a way of helping me, release all the anxiety and stress that has built up over COVID and being home. And to my amazement, it was so much more. And I'm so happy because I am a Christian woman, but I feel like I've been sheltered in place for much longer than before COVID. Mm-hmm. And I realized that by coming to this group. I walked every day. I mean, most days. There were some days that I didn't. But besides the walk, before this even started, I always thought I didn't have time for myself. I have a 10-year-old at home, a 4-year-old. I work in the city. I'd get off the train and we do homework, dinner, bath time, go to bed. And I just started to just let myself go to the wayside. And, I realized I wasn't happy. I was just trying to please my family and be a good mother and be a working mom. And joining this program, Dr. Lakita said, I think I voiced that once, and she said, you need to sit down and you need to tell your family that this is important to you and that you need this time. And you wouldn't think a 4-year-old would understand that. But once I had that conversation with them, I was able to do 13 Wellness Wednesday meetings, 13 Monday morning motivationals, 13 Friday morning motivationals, and I joined a 6-week Bible study without interruption. And there were times where my 4-year-old would come to me and he'd say, oh, you're praying? Okay. And he'd go back to play. And he totally left me alone. There were times where I was running late for the meetings and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to call in at this point because I'm late. And my daughter said, no, I'll go up and take my own shower. I'll read and you join. This is important. And it's just amazing the way God moves and the way things just started to fall into place. I mean, Dr. Lakita even helped me to mourn my dad's death, that I couldn't because I always felt like I was that strong tower in my family, and that being strong meant that I, couldn't show, like, I guess, my weakness. And she shared this, which I wrote down here. She shared from C.W. Lewis, no one ever told me that grief felt like fear. And that spoke to me, and like, it just, I ended up grieving my dad for 2 weeks, and it feels so good now. It's a year he's gone. And I thank Dr. Lakita and this group. I mean, I would have never known I would have found that here. So it's just been amazing. I have to say, one of my favorite talks is the relentless mindset. I got so much from that. And as a matter of fact, on August 29th, God spoke to me. I had just laid down to bed and he said to me, no more alcohol. And I'm not a drinker. Like, I drink occasionally. Right. So I thought it was interesting. And I said to myself, God, but why that? Like, I mean, I have wine once in a while. I'm not a very, active drinker. And God just knows why. So I didn't listen, to be honest. We had like 2 family occasions and I drank. And each time after, the next day, my belly was bloated and hurting. And we have a history of digestive issues in my family. I have a long history of ulcers, and God knows it's just not good for me. Even if it's once a month, it's just, I need to give it up. So I just want to say and declare that I am giving up alcohol. And so God said otherwise, and I'm just giving him all the glory, all the healing, that he'd break the chains of this history in my family with me, and that I'd be healed in my stomach. And I just thank this group. I thank this group so much, and I cannot wait to continue the 50-day challenge and see what other doors God is going to open and what other blessings are going to come my way. So I thank everyone.
Listen, I want to tell you right now, and I now kind of know a little bit why maybe God just wanted us to be sequestered, if you will, in this time, and then we'll show the world what it looks like to just be in sync with what God is trying to do right now, what he's saying to us right now. And yes, my heart is just full. I'm telling you, my heart is full. I knew that this group was special. I didn't realize how special this group was, and just how God's hand was on our lives. My spirit is just so elated for you, Julie. I'm just like, oh my God, like, it's just,
that's how I feel. My head's gonna explode.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And your compadre Dee, she already inboxed me, said she's been inviting other folks and from the East Coast, and she's like, she does not want them to miss it. And God gave me really a very powerful thing to do in these 50 days, so that anybody, whether they're a Christian or not, would come into the knowledge of knowing about the sovereignty of the goodness of God in the times that we're living in and where we're going, and people don't know. So thank you. My God, I love God so much. I so appreciate you.
So I just want to encourage everyone to stay the course.
Glory. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
Thank
We love
you.
you so much. Let's give it up for our sister. Woo-hoo! Yes.
Woo!
All right. Man, I love that. Miss Marsha, you are next up, and we're just excited. We're keeping this bandwagon going, and we want everyone to know that's out there watching us and viewing us that this is real time. This is real life. People's lives are really impacted. You looking good, girl. I see you, honey. Yes. The glow is real, honey. Yes. And to introduce to some and to present to others, Miss Marsha, she just rocks out, her and her crew in the San Jose area in California. And she just has her own powerful story about how God brought her back even before this time. And just, I mean, she sent us pictures in our group of all the things that were going on with her body physically. And so you're on, my dear. Tell the world like what God did for you and how important it was, and what would you suggest to them? Go for it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marsha, and first of all, I just have to give God glory, honor, and praise for answered prayer. I came at a time when I had just come off of what felt like my deathbed. I had a barbaric surgery where my entire right temporal lobe was removed after suffering from complex partial seizures for 20 years. So technically, I was in a shelter in place for 20 years. And when COVID came around, I literally flat on my face just cried out to the Lord and said, I can't go through another shelter in place without you and without your hand over my life and just leading me and guiding me and protecting me and keeping me from falling into the pit of fear. Because as you can imagine, for 20 years, I lived every waking moment of my life in fear that I would die from a seizure, fear that it would be the last seizure that I would have. And so just before Sister Shalene, who is, gosh, a blessing and an angel in my life, before she invited me to the Walk It Off Girl Challenge, I had went to a Black Lives Matter rally and had attempted to walk almost 6 miles. And when I got to the end of it, my body was just in utter pain. My legs felt like I couldn't feel my legs. And I just knew at that point, Lord, there is something that I have to do. I have to get stronger. And then I just said, I need a coach. I need a mentor. I need somebody who's been down this road before, who can just tell me what to do. Tell me just to, continue eating better, working out daily, making yourself a priority. And just saying yes, those were the things that I prayed for. And then lo and behold, here came Sister Shalene, here came the Walk It Off Girl Challenge, the 100-day challenge. And then for Dr. Lakita and the entire community to come in and say yes along with me was like, the angels were rejoicing, like all of heaven was rejoicing. And I was there, just thanking God. Thank you for not forsaking me this time around when asking, and I asked, and that was the power in it. I always felt like, maybe I'm not asking enough, or maybe I'm not believing enough, but I was like, I know you're going to send me somebody who's going to help me. And he did that through Dr. Lakita and the Walk It Off Girl Challenge. And, I'm very emotional because what's crazy is here I thought it was just going to be the physical part, just getting back into the motion of moving again and retraining my body on how to do that. And mind you, during this time I had went to a chiropractor because I felt like my body was misaligned. And he even straight up asked me, have you ever been diagnosed with polio? And all these things came up. about the years of, you know, pharma medication that I had been on for 20 years and how it had literally deteriorated and destroyed my cerebellum. And your cerebellum is, you know, for balance. And so I was like, okay, I got work to do. I have work to do. And so the amazing thing is as we started walking, and mind you, I was in pain. Day 3, I was telling Shalene, I don't know how we're going to do 97 more days of this. I just don't know how we're going to do it. And she was right there with me, like, I don't know either, but we going to do it, and we're going to do it together. And by the grace of God, you know, long story short, after all the walking, making it a priority, you know, first thing in the morning, we would get up and go on our, you know, 5-mile walks, get the 10,000 steps in. And after a while, you know, I was wearing a brace on my ankle, one on my knee. The braces came off. And I started to tell Shalene, I said, you know what? I feel like my leg, the leg that, you know, the chiropractor was, you know, questioning, you know, and looking at kind of, you know, weird, like, you know, did you have polio? It started feeling like it was straightening out. And I started to feel balance in my body, and I have never felt that balance in my body because, again, for 20 years, I was a slave to big pharma medication that didn't control my seizures ever, and just basically destroyed my body. And so to be able to start seeing, you know, on the physical level, what all this walking was doing, and how beyond the steps, just the morning motivations, being aligned with the word of God, and having somebody praying for you unceasingly. Dr. Lakita, she is anointed and she is on fire for the Lord, and she wants every single woman walking the earth to be empowered and to know that they are loved by a mighty God, and that healing and restoration is possible. And if we just say yes, you can have it too. And so with all my heart and soul, I'm just so thankful and grateful for this community. And you will always be a part of my healing journey. And I'm not done. I have a long ways to go. But now I have a community of sisters who are healing as well, and we are supporting and loving on each other and lifting up each other, and we know that God has his hand of protection over us, and that he will never forsake us, and we serve a good and mighty God. And so thank you.
Oh, you know, as you were speaking, you know, I'm sitting over here trying to compose myself, because I know all of you that are out there looking at all of us are probably wondering what's going on here. And one of the things that I believe very, very plainly, and as a scientist practitioner, that's how we call ourselves in the mental health field, those who in the psychology field and things of that nature, I'm a mental health professor, are professional. One of the things that I think is missing is the ability to combine biblical principles and psychological concepts, as well as in the sciences. I think God is the epitome of the scientist. God is the greatest scientist ever. I should write a book about that. God is the greatest scientist ever, and really mess up some Darwin folks for real, who don't believe that. But one of the things about the Walk It Off Girl that is important that you guys in Facebook land that you should know is that it is designed for you, even if you're already a believer. If you're not a believer, it's designed for every area of your life to get realigned. We had some husbands get on to our Facebook live earlier today, which was comforting to hear and to see that he was very much for his wife doing the work and doing what she was doing and supporting her. And so everything about it is about you being in alignment with your creator, as well as in your own life and personhood. So that's really important. So Marsha, thank you so much. You look great. You look—
I love you, Dr. Rita. I love you.
I love you more, like real, seriously, this is major mad love. So thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure it's going to be a blessing to a lot of other folks. And as we go on to move forward. Wow, this is just crazy. All right, so I want us to do something really quick. I want you guys just for a second, and I just want you guys, just so people don't know what's going on, take your stuff off of mute, and we just want to just holler, just play, yes, go!
Yes!
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 Hallelujah!
We made it!
We made
Yes!
it! 100 days!
We made it!
Walk it out, Cat!
It up,
100
Yes!
days in the
Wow.
world!
Yay.
I just wanted to do
The
that. Break.
glory
We
of
did
God.
it, ladies! We did
Yes,
it!
we did it. We did it. We did it.
We did it!
So I just wanted to break it up and just kind of put it out there so they can feel the energy, feel the love. I mean, you guys are the most supportive people. And I do believe that if we stay on track and on target, and everybody that wants to be a part of doing the more, then we're going to be able to reach, impact, affect, and influence 1 million women, that they too might be able to have a testimony that God has done something in their life and they're going to just walk it off for the rest of their life. And so we're just excited about that. And to help us bring in further excitement, we're hoping that she was able to fully join us. And Mother Colleen Falter, she is just a wonderful, delightful individual, brilliant, articulate, who I've known for like 20 years, actually. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman. I call her mother because she just has that motherly ability and wisdom. And just for her to share her story about what she has done over these last 100 days. She has a very busy life. She does a lot of stuff in business and in work and all of that. So share with us, tell us a little bit about what your journey was like and all of that. You're on.
Well, thank you, Dr. Lakita. It is so exciting to be alive and being able to witness 100 days of being consistent. I am so excited about the things of God, and I'm excited about the 100-day challenge. If I tell you, it has been such an overwhelming blessing. And it's such a wonderful, wonderful feeling to be in the presence of greatness. You know, when I first heard the announcement about the 100-day challenge, I was trying to figure out how I could possibly fit it into my schedule. You know, we're real people, we have real issues, and as we live life, sometimes life get in the way. In the midst of COVID and several deaths and everything, and I'm in the midst of transition. And so I was trying to figure out, how am I going to be able to walk and get all of this done going between Hilltop and Elk Grove in the Sacramento area. And I said, I have to do something for myself. And I said, I'm in charge of my own personal growth and development. And I'm going to make an administrative decision, and I'm going to work this out, whatever it takes. I've got to make it happen. And Dr. Lakita, I want you to know you are divinely gifted. You have blessed me tremendously. My life will never be the same. I thank God for your commitment, your dedication. I thank God I've lost weight. I thank God my endurance is built up. And I am so thankful about the Walk It Off Girl family. You know, it's a blessing when we can have a unified front.
Yeah.
And we can all love on each other and encourage one another. In the midst of everything we go through, you know, successful people are determined to make it happen at any cost. So it didn't matter about the circumstances we went through. We just had to make it happen. It was all about making a decision and making it happen. And so it's all about the daily routine. We've been walking, I've been trying to get it in. I've been walking here, there, you know, late nights. Some nights I was only able to get it in right before midnight. But I made the decision. I said, I've got to make this happen. And as women, we are incubators. We give birth. And we are birthing Walk It Out Girl, you know, and I'm excited about what God is doing. I'm excited about the things of God, and I'm excited about where this is going.
Yeah.
You know, and I just want women everywhere to know that there is a better way. We certainly can live a victorious Christian life. And it's all about letting our light shine. And, you know, we're real people. We've got real struggles, but we keep it moving. We keep it moving at any cost. And it feels wonderful to be in the presence of greatness. and to know that it's all about him. And
Yes.
all I can say is to God be the glory for the things that he has done. You know, we are settled on the inside. I know I'm thoroughly convinced. I'm settled on the inside, and God is establishing all of us on the outside. So we have a great community. I thank God for everything he has done, everything he is doing. And all I can say is the best is yet to come. And Dr. Lakita, I want you to know that we honor you for your labor of love. I honor you for your dedication and your commitment and your faithfulness. And I want you to know that you have touched all of us. I've had people call and they've been benefited and blessed, trying to figure out how I'm getting all of this in. And I'm reminded of something you shared in one of the sessions. You said we have to live in knowing that there is a battle every single day. And if I tell you, I've been going through trying to work all of this out and make it happen. And I am just so thankful that everything has worked out fine. And I'm looking forward to what the next steps will be. So all I can say is thank you for a job well done. God bless you.
Thank you so much. I thank you, Mom, for just speaking to us. So I wanted to make sure that others out there knew that there was no age limit. You can be young, you can be older. We just want you to be willing. If we first be willing, the Bible says we'll eat the good of the land. And some of us are not eating the good of healing and the good of feeling better because we're not willing. And I just believe if we're just willing, and we just take one step. I remember one of the ladies, she said she had never even walked 200 feet before. She would drive her car just up the street if she had to. She was not the one to walk. And now here she was doing 8,000 plus steps every day. Only God can help us to do that. And there is so much more that we're going to be able to do and to impact the world that we know by deciding that, you know what, I better get real with my life. I think that for me was a turning point that my mentor had just shared. We were just having a conversation and he said, you got to make sure you're not playing with your life. And I just was like, whoa, it just like hit. I'm not a person that plays with my life, but it definitely had a different impact. Make sure you're not playing with your life. Make sure you're not playing with your life. And that's a question that I've asked all of us to make sure we're not playing with our lives. So love you so much, Mother. You've been phenomenal and just gracious and just, I want to look like you when I get a little bit older. And so thank you so much, Mom. And we'll be back to you in just a few moments. I think we have on here Miss Ashanti. I think Ashanti is up, I believe. And while she is getting herself together, we can utilize Pam Sterling. Pam Sterling, I believe she's on here. Yes, there she is.
Hey.
Yeah, you're on, my dear. I can't wait
And
to
I'm
hear your story. Yes.
I am gonna try to get through this without crying. I am so serious. So, a sister of mine, she's not on here, Phyllis Blakely, hit me up because I was trying to walk here and there. And so diabetes runs in my family. And in December, I went to the doctor and I was pre-diabetic, but now I was full blown. And, trying to do stuff on my own and just couldn't do it. And so, crying and I'm taking shots in my stomach. And so my sister said, come on, we're going to get through this. She said, there's this 100-day challenge. We're going to do it. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, well, I can do it for about a week. I'll get a few days in and try to do this, but 10,000 steps a day. And once I started getting into it, and doing those morning motivations, and Dr. Lakita, I just got to tell you, the first time you asked us to fast, and I had a lot of issues with my family, and I started doing that fast, and oh my God, just the things that have come and how the Lord has blessed and how I was able to be quiet and hear his voice.
Yes.
And that was because this program is awesome. It's awesome. And let me take that back. It's not a program. This community of sisters, you know, and just logging on every day and seeing sisters just striving to do and having trials and things that they working through, and still I'm gonna do it. And that was so encouraging. And Miss Kim Johnson every morning, just you know, and videos, and you know, it was just awesome. So I continued, you know, to go through it and started to eat better, and you know, seeing sisters posting about what they were, you know, what they were eating and doing smoothies and that yes. And so when I said yes, I started hearing it everywhere. So I first heard it from you, and then I started hearing it at church, and then I started hearing it in the music, and I'm like, okay, I'm with the yes. I'm with the yes. And so a week turned into 2 weeks, and I'm still going at it, and I'm still walking, and then I heard be intentional.
Yes.
In everything that you do. And I started hearing it in the music, and I started hearing it in the messages, and you know, and so this 100 days later, so I've been 2 months where I've not had to take any insulin shots. My numbers are normal. And I was determined that I was not going to be slave to medication. I was not going to take I had diabetes, I had high blood pressure, you know, I shouldn't even been, my numbers were so high, I shouldn't have been here. My numbers have been consistently normal. And that's all due to this community of sisters is, you know, and what I first heard from you is take just some simple instructions. If you want to do this, you're going to have to follow some instructions. And that's what I did. And so last week, you know, I'm checking my tracker and I messaged Dr. Lakita, and I'm like, thank you for allowing us to be a part of this vision that God gave you, because it is a God-given, it's a vision. You're truly anointed. But I looked at my tracker. My tracker said I had 1,877,000 steps. And I'm like, how is that possible? How is that possible? When I would, in the evenings, I would sit on the couch and it would come to me, be intentional. While you watching this show, get up, start walking. You know, when you're in these meetings all day long, start walking, you know, and I did that. And it would be to a point where, okay, it's time to go to bed. But it was because I was intentional about getting this weight off. I've tried everything. I've tried Jumpstart. I've tried Slim Fast. I've tried doing detoxing, all that kind of stuff. None of that stuff worked. This is the only thing that has truly worked. It works if you work it.
Come on.
Simple instructions, and you have to, you just got to let go and let God. And I tell you, and it's nothing like, I mean, some days I couldn't get outside, so I had to be prepared. Okay, well, you can't go out today, so you got to prepare. You know, you got to prepare. But it's nothing like walking outside and praying and having those morning devotions and praying and listening to God and being out there and feeling his presence. You know, looking at the trees, feeling the breeze. Oh, that's the Lord. Looking at the birds fly by. Oh, that's the Lord. You know, it's this community of sisters is nothing like it. It's nothing like it. I would not want to give, and I'm looking forward to the next 50 days.
Yes.
And the 21 days.
Yes.
30 days.
You ready? You ready?
Days. You know, it's like, this is the journey. It's like, okay, this is the end of this journey. Now we're going to start this one. So it's a lifestyle change. It's a psychic change. And that's what happened for me. I had to change my way of thinking. And it wasn't just about the weight. It wasn't about the diabetes. It was about all that stuff that I had buried deep inside that I had to let go and give it to God and be free. And I know he has more in store for me. Thank you. Thank you to all you beautiful sisters. You just don't know when you're saying stuff, and when you send a heart, and when you get a thumbs up, or you do a yes, you don't know how that encourages a sister, and how she takes that, and it just builds us. It just builds us up. And that's what I want to be to everybody. I want to be that encourager too. So thank you, community, and my beautiful sisters. Thank you.
Well, you know, I'm just sitting here listening, and I'm like smiling so hard, I'm making my own head hurt, because you do know that, you know, this thing took 11 and a half years to take off. And I was thinking about this earlier today, and I thought, God, and just as I was saying, 11 and a half years, and God says, but I want you to see for yourself that what I give you, if you hold on to that yes, it shall come to pass.
Yes.
So I want to encourage people of God, it shall come to pass. And we haven't seen nothing yet. We opened it up asking God that we wanted to be a different type of behavioral mindset modification kind of weight loss program, that we wanted to actually see signs, wonders, and miracles. And we have seen it. Had sisters that have gone into the hospital one day with something real serious, and they were let out the next day and the pain gone. We've seen marriages that were on the rocks and shabby to where, you know, they submitted one to the other. I mean, the testimonies have been so many, and I just want to thank you, Pam, for just being you and persevering and deciding that you were not going to give up. And now you can be one of the ones to share with the other folks for the 50-day challenge that there's a reason for you not to give up. God will level out your life in a powerful way if you trust him. So
one more thing. So
sure.
When you also asked us to get on a scale, because I kept getting on that scale and measuring my progress by that scale. But when I threw that out, and it's about how I felt, and then taking that before and after picture.
Yes.
Oh my God. It you know, it just keeps us going. Thank you again.
I love you so, so much. Oh my God. I'm just like elated. You guys can see that, right? Absolutely. So Miss Pam Sterling was our last person that was on our list to just give you guys information about what we do with Walk It Off Girl. We've got this 50-day challenge that's coming up, and some of these ladies here do not know that we have this meetup sort of brunch that we're doing on December the 12th. So December the 12th, we're doing a meetup. We try to do something after each of the challenges. The first challenge we did, we had a walkathon, and it was phenomenal at Lake Mary. The second one we're going to do on December the 12th is going to be like a brunch, but it's more than a brunch. It's going to be so powerful. It's in Berkeley, California. We're going to be giving out some much needed love and tokens of gift of my appreciation to a bunch of you that I've just been watching. You do amazing stuff for the group, for me, for others that are watching you, and just be a blessing to you guys, and just spend that time loving on you guys. So make sure you put that on your calendar, December the 12th, because it will be limited space. We don't have much space, so we just want to make sure that you are present and that you register for the next 50-day challenge. I do not do this on my own, and I think it's always good. She's not going to show herself tonight, but that's fine. But I get a chance to work with some amazing folks that's team, and I think it's always appropriate to mention those individuals. Julia Royal, she's just phenomenal. She helps out, and she'll be doing some other stuff on the membership side, and making sure people feel right at home, and make sure people feel the contact and the connection that they need to feel. Latanya Jackson, we love her so much. She just kind of moved into it. I think something happened with one of the team members' ability to type or something, and she just did it, and she just kept doing it, and then she just showed up. She just wanted to be a part of it in a different kind of way, and so she helps us on the admin side and some other stuff she's going to be doing. And then Miss Shalene Booker, our songwriter, moderator, and I was able to bring her on a quarter of the time, and so we did a fundraiser support, and we raised just under $5,000, just under $5,000. I think I'll just add the $63. I think it was $63 to make it 5,000. Our goal was 20,000. So if you still want to support, you can. And primarily it was so that we can bring on some staff people to work quarter of a time. We still have lots of volunteers, but Shalene does so much. And I just wanted to be fair in terms of her time and all of that. And so that's what we'll be utilizing those funds for, along with some of the technology type stuff that we're in the process of doing as we speak right now, which is really cool. We just love this community. And then we'll be inviting several of you guys to be Walk It Off Girl like ambassadors and what that looks like. So we got your names and all that stuff. And just everybody that just says, I'm in, I'm all in, use me. When you say that, there's a specific intentional thing that we want to be able to do. No woman will be left behind. No woman will be left out from doing what they say that they're called to do. We're going to know it. We're going to all know it. That's the only thing I require, is that whatever you say, let the anointing of God be present, so that we are able to take the sacred things of God into the secular world, and that they might be able to crave what we have instead of us always craving what they have. And in that respect, we become strong, valiant, and triumphant, mindset-oriented individuals, serving a true, powerful God. So with that in mind, we don't want to belabor our time any longer. If you need to know more about what we're doing, you make sure you go to the website, www.lakitalong.org. That's LAKITALONG.org. Look us up and make sure you join us. We would love to have you. We ain't for no foolishness though. We're going to let you know that right now. Listen, I'm not looking for it to be 1,000 people if there's no productivity. I'd rather take 100 if there's going to be productivity, signs and wonders, and people's lives are impacted from the inside out. It's never a numbers thing for me, but it is a quality thing. I need people to say that God is changing their lives and that they've made a decision to do something different. That for me is the game changer. And so we bless God, and I mean that, no foolishness. They know I'm no foolishness. I figure if I wait 11 years, we're not going to wait 11 years and then get into foolishness. So we love you. We embrace all of you guys that are watching us, and join us so you can be a part of what's going on, because you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, so with that in mind, we are going to go, and we're just going to ask the women to take their things off of mute so we can get us a Walk It Off Girl golly roar, and just let you know we are here if it's not too late, and we're going to say,
Did it. Walk it off.
Yes.
We are super duper excited. We have women from all over the place: New Jersey, New York, San Jose, Richmond, California, Oakland, Fairfield, Sacramento, Nevada, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Long Beach, Bellflower. We had one from Brazil, Brentwood, Antioch, Oakley, Pittsburgh, Concord,
Georgia.
yes, Martinez,
Stockton.
Hawaii.
Oh,
Yes, Hawaii.
Georgia in the house. Georgia in the house.
Turlock, yes,
Georgia.
Modesto, yes. Call your city out if I didn't call it. Where else we from?
Georgia.
Yeah, Covington, Georgia.
Yes, at ATL. Yes, Atlanta. Where else?
Rodeo.
Rodeo. Yes. Rodeo. What else? All right. Well, we said where we're from. Now we want to know where you're from, and we can't know where you're from unless you sign up some. So put the down and get ready. Let's do it. Get ready. So let's make it happen. And we are out. Somebody singing day is ready to do it.
Praise God.
You guys be blessed and have a great, fantastic day.